Welcome to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast.
My name is Jen Clark.
And I'm Elka Clark. We are a mother-daughter team who started our Zazzle e-commerce businesses over 10 years ago and have sold $15 million and counting of products on Zazzle with our designs on them.
We had so many people asking us how we did this, so we created our signature course, the Profit by Design Academy, which teaches our 5 strategies for success on Zazzle.
When we aren't helping creative entrepreneurs just like you create profitable e-commerce businesses, we love cooking food from places all over the world that we've traveled to, jet setting to our next dream destination, spending quality time with our close friends and family, or having fun creating our next bestsellers in our Zazzle businesses.
In this podcast, we share actionable steps you, the creative, can take to make money in your e-commerce business on Zazzle. Each episode will take you one step closer to achieving freedom with your time, location, and finances.
We believe that you can have anything you dream of, as long as you work smarter, not harder. And we're here to give you the tools you need to make your dreams happen. Let's get started. Well, hey there, it's Elka.
And Jen. And in this episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast, we are talking about how to make 2021 your best year ever on Zazzle.
And of course, there's lots of advice that we could give you, but we've narrowed it down to 4 key points, which I'm going to list because I want to make sure I don't mess them up. So I'm going to start with saying the points, then we're going to go into detail, and those are going to be really helpful for you in this time when we've just gone through a whole year of COVID-19 and pandemic, for you to make 2021 the best year ever, even if it's still going to be an issue with the pandemic in 2021, because we're no longer going to be affected by COVID. We're actually going to just crush it, even though COVID might be still around. Okay, so points number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here they go. Set your 2021 goal and do the mindset work needed. Obviously, that's going to be a biggie that we want to talk about. Second, create a customer-focused production plan for all of 2021. Yep, I said all of 2021 right from the get-go. And then number 3 is invest in your future growth of your Zazzle store. And that isn't just being like buying courses. It could be buying courses, but it's also investing in what it is that you're going to do and what time you're going to take in order to make your Zazzle business grow online. Because guess what? E-commerce is booming. And if your business isn't growing, stick around. You've got to get some help from us or something, or do something different, because you should be profiting at this point. And then the last point is stop doing what isn't working for your Zazzle business. And that just seems like such a no-brainer, but it's so hard to do that because we keep thinking we could get the same result or different results doing the same work. So we're going to talk about that as well. So let's get started with point number 1. Yes. Okay, so set your 2021 goal and do the mindset work needed. Do you want to start?
No, well, you can start and we can just chat about whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I have 2 points here, and I keep looking at my notes because I want to make sure I don't miss out because we really condensed it down. So the first thing is to set your goal. And it seems like it would be a tough thing to do because you've got all this stuff that's going to be your baggage. Like, okay, well, this happened in 2020. And I have to readjust, and I can't ask for this, the amount I really wanted, and all those things. What we want you to do is go all out, set your dream goal, and then use our ERSD goal setting technique, which is E is for easy, or R is for reasonable, S is for stretch, dream is for dream, or D is for dream, actually. And so therefore, this technique that we have developed has worked so well for others, so it can definitely work for you as well, so that you can set that dream goal. And then you can also set a stretch goal and a reasonable goal and an easy goal. And so the COVID experience goal can be your easy goal because, you should reach something, and maybe you want to have it in such a way that what you're making now on Zazzle, even if it's 0, is your easy goal. Why? Because we want to really help you with your mindset this year and next year, so that you don't feel disappointed, because that's the key. If you have your mindset all worked out, solid, locked in, then you're going to be in such a great position to weather any storm, to get any accomplishment you want to accomplish. And that's the key with this ERSD goal setting technique, is no matter what goals you set, you're going to reach them because you're going to have an easy one, a reasonable, a stretch, and a dream. Okay, so we want you to do that. There's a link in the show notes, and you're going to be able to read all about the ERC goal setting technique, and you're going to set something for each of those, and then therefore you're going to be able to easily also set your dream goal, which we all want you to strive to get to. Okay, so but the next part is that you have to do the mindset work, and I already touched on that. Do you want to deal with that?
Sure, definitely. Mindset right now is extremely important. I think mindset is probably the most important thing that you can focus in on your Zazzle business or business in general when it comes to implementing work and getting the right action steps put into your business. Because if you're not in the right mindset, you actually aren't able to take those action steps and implement them or actually make them work for you effectively. Because mindset can play with your mind, especially during this time of COVID-19 and pandemic, because we've seen a lot of hardships. We've been tested with a lot of things that we've never been tested with before. We've been presented with situations which we couldn't even actually dream of, or even, could be a reality. And so this year has brought up a lot of things that have, presented themselves in a different way that we never thought we're capable of even thinking about. And so you might have sort of a mindset that says it's very negative. There's no sales. I'm being affected by COVID. Nothing's going to work for me in the future. I don't have a job. There's a lot of negativity surrounded by the year 2020. And your mindset actually has to be in the positive mindset rather than the negative mindset. Because if you're in the positive mindset, even if a lot of bad things are happening right now, if you're in a positive mindset, you can always try and figure out a solution. Your mindset will actually help you work towards your goal and see things from a positive perspective rather than a negative one. And so this is why your mindset is extremely important to go forward and to actually make 2021 the best year ever, because this is the whole point, is that you want to make this year better than last year, right?
Yeah. And this year we have like a little bit of an excuse because we had like a shock that this is going to change our world and so on. And we were always like waiting for it all to get better. But now we're more evolved in terms of our thinking about what's happening. Obviously, it's not going away right away. And so we're going to work with it rather than against it or ignore it. And so what is really important for you to be able to get to your goals, even your dream goal in 2021, is to show up for your business. And that doesn't mean ignore COVID. It means showing up for your business in the best way possible with the circumstances that you have available for you. Now, luckily for us as e-commerce online business entrepreneurs and for yourself, you're going to have a little bit of an easier go of it because the online e-commerce space is booming. Everyone is shopping online. The numbers are through the roof in terms of the shopping dollars that are being spent online. And as a Zazzle business owner, you are able to profit from that. And so we want you to show up for your business and not let any of the other circumstances allow you to get derailed, when really at this point in time actually is the most profitable time to be on any e-commerce platform. And Zazzle is definitely one of those platforms.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your mindset work. Obviously, that takes a little bit more effort than just 2 minutes of talking about it here in the podcast, but be mindful of it, that this might be happening to you. And when you're showing up for your business without that heavy load and burden of this COVID, the circumstances that are related to COVID, then you can show up in your business and really, truly profit from what's happening on the e-commerce space. Okay. So you want to say more about mindset, or are we?
No, I think we're good. Point number 2 is create a customer-focused production plan for all of 2021.
Yeah, we're both laughing because it's like, guess what? That's going to be a little bit of hard work. Yeah. But we don't want, do it.
Yes, no freaking out, because making a production plan for the entire year may seem daunting, but it's actually not that difficult if you take it little bit by little bit. And the reason why we ask you to do it for the entire year is so that you're prepared, because especially within retail or the online e-commerce space, you need to be in production a couple months before actual sales start to happen. It'd be like, oh, actually, I'll tell you one of my stories. I started making Christmas cards literally the 23rd of December, and I was upset because people didn't buy the Christmas cards that I made on Zazzle. And then I actually started to think about it, and I said, hey, well, people need actually time to buy the cards, to send them out to their family members. So of course they're not going to buy them 2 days before Christmas, right? And so especially with not just the holidays, but any other time during the year, you need to have a certain amount of time for you to produce your products, and then also think about inspiration and actually get them into the marketplace. So that takes time. So creating a production plan will definitely help you make 2021 your best year yet on Zazzle, because then you'll be actually prepared and you'll know every step of the way what you need to do in terms of your production plan. And the reason why we say customer-based is because, if you want to go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm taking the baton. Okay. Yeah, sure. The reason is that you have to make sure that now with COVID-19 and all these uncertain times, that there's different customers that you're attracting and that you're serving with the products that you're going to be making. So, for example, weddings. Let's take weddings for an example. People were ready to get married. They had all the hall booked, the church booked. The guests were, ready to come as soon as those invitations came out. And all of a sudden, it's like, no, you can't do that because of social distancing. So what's happened? Well, first of all, things like save the date turned into change the date, or invitations had to be resent out with new invitation dates if something was getting better and COVID was less of an issue in that area where they were living. And so they could go ahead with it, but they had to change the date, for example. And so you're dealing with a customer who's still within the COVID space that has to deal with lockdown and so on, and is interested in moving forward, but can't do it right now. And then you also have customers that are not in COVID lockdown, and so therefore they're actually getting on with their lives again. So you've got those two customer sets that you're going to have to deal with all of in 2021, and let's get prepared for those, because a lot of people in our courses made a lot of money with the COVID-related products that were necessary for people to keep functioning and moving forward with what they want to do. But then there were also a lot of other people in our courses who made a lot of money with the regular events, just as if nothing was happening. And that's really important, that we're not using or pre-assuming that certain things are happening because of COVID and uncertain times. So we're going to get ready in 2021 for both sets of situations, and then you'll be able to profit no matter what.
So the first situation obviously is a COVID-related one. Yeah. And then the second situation would be the normal, actual,
and even everyday that you would have normally done before we even heard the COVID word.
Yeah. And it's definitely very important for you to do both types of customers, because there will be both types of customers purchasing and buying online.
And it's not just in weddings, right? It's whatever happens within COVID related spaces where you've got people have to stay home and they have to stay in their house. Well, then puzzles maybe are going to sell more than someone who doesn't have to stay in their house and be careful. Then maybe they're not going to be interested in puzzles. They're going to be interested in something else that they can do outdoors with groups and friends. And so you have to have both customers in mind in both situations, and then that will really help with your production schedule. So let's wrap up the 2021 all products, the whole entire schedule for 2021, in that saying that you are going to be much more prepared for all the activities and seasons and things that are coming up, like Jen with her Christmas card. Make them 3 months before for sure, if not longer. And so that you're ready to go and actually take advantage of the fact that those will sell if you present them into the marketplace on Zazzle at the right time. Then the other thing that's really important is to make sure that you're dealing with international customers, and all over the world, things are happening in different stages of COVID-19. And so some people actually are freed and able to get on with their lives, and others are still in lockdown. And so based on not just weddings, other products too, and other niches, there's going to be different things that the customer is going to need and want, but they're still going to be buying online. And so you, when thinking about that customer in one situation or another, are going to be very able to decide what to make in terms of products for your entire year for 2021, just based on that assumption.
Yes.
Okay, so that's number 2. So number 3.
Sure. Invest in your future growth of your Zazzle store.
So Zazzle store is like, there's 2 aspects here. Obviously, your Zazzle store has products in it, and the products are going to sell and then make you money as either a royalty and a referral. So that's the store aspect of it. But who makes the store up? Who puts the products in? Who makes sure that they're positioned properly so that people can buy them, and let alone find them so they can buy them? And that's you, right? You're the business owner, you're the CEO, you're the production manager, you're the promotion manager, you do everything. And so it's really important that you get the skill sets necessary to be able to thrive on the Zazzle marketplace. That means knowing what to design and how to design to achieve that customer experience where they go, I love that, I want to buy it. And that doesn't come that easily, even though we're all creatives and we think, oh yeah, we've got this. We're creatives. People are going to love our stuff just because it's good. And unfortunately, that's not the case. And we want you to learn those skill sets that make your stuff that you have, whether it's photography, artwork, graphic designs, surface patterns. We want to make sure that you can use that original creativity that you have to leverage to get sales on Zazzle that the customer will open their wallets for. And that's a skill set that you have to learn. And we teach that in our Profit by Design Academy, and even more so in our Z Supercharger. And then the other skill sets are related to, getting your products to be found, like SEO with proper titles and tags, how you promote and where you promote, and also just being able to have your business built up in such a way that you look like a professional business. So there's this customer know, like, and trust factor that people will use to decide whether they want to buy from your store. And so those are all really, really important, and they're very specific to the Zazzle platform. This is not something you need to do as much for other PODs, but this allows you on Zazzle to be much more customer oriented, and therefore you're going to get a lot more sales a lot better and quicker because the customer has less hurdles to overcome with their buying experience. And you can help them with all of these things to get to that know, like, and trust factor. So Zazzle skills are super, super important, and it's very specific to the Zazzle marketplace. So get the training that you need. But the second part is the business ownership part.
Yes.
Do you want to do that?
No, you can go for it.
Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. So this is also important because we as creatives come to the Zazzle marketplace and we go, great, we can put our stuff up online. Zazzle takes care of the rest. That's all we need to do. And then about, even 2-3 months later or years later, we go, why is nothing selling?
Yeah.
And instead of saying it's because I have business skills that I need, we as creatives say, well, it must be my artwork, or it must be my photography, or no one likes my stuff.
Well, also, I think some people blame the Zazzle marketplace. My stuff's neat. It's just
Zazzle doesn't show my stuff.
There are so many situations that we create in our head, but it's never the one that we actually realize that we need the business skill sets. Because as Zazzle designers, I think a lot of us at the beginning, anyway, when we first start out on Zazzle, we treat it as a fun hobby. It's sort of like a side project. And we don't actually realize that if we trained ourselves within business management, because truly our Zazzle store is a business, then we can actually make it work for us. Yeah. And the reason why it isn't working is because it's the business technical things that we're missing.
Yeah. Yes. And we've seen such success with our Creative CEO Mastermind students because that's where we teach that, is in this wonderful CEO Mastermind, Creative CEO Mastermind container, which is a 6-month coaching program. And it just changed because as Jen said, the mindset shift is done in that course, doing the work. And then the people who are completing that program, the coaching program, they understand now what's involved in terms of how to run a business. What do you have to do as a CEO to make sure that your business is running really well? And that's when the numbers start to come through in terms of the sales. It's awesome to see that change and transition, because they've always had all the creative goods. They always had the ability to deliver something unique and different, but they don't know how to use the business skills in order to position themselves and to also just run the business and take those actions and make those decisions based on a business rather than a hobby. So that Creative CEO Mastermind just does that for them as a great 6-month coaching program. Okay. So that's it. That's really what you need to do in terms of investing in your future growth in 2020 and 2021. And the key here is that things always change. So that's a given, whether it's COVID or something else. So you need expertise, help, and guidance from people who have been through changes for years. Jen and I have been on Zazzle for 13 years. It's hard to believe, really. And we've seen so many changes and so many things that we've had to go like, okay, we thought we had it figured out. Now we have to figure out this new thing. So it's great to have someone in your back pocket that knows all that stuff and has been through changes and realizes, okay, it's just another change. It's not, something like earth-shattering. And also, how, as a business owner, do we deal with these things and then they're leveraged properly so that actually become profitable from the change, not hurt your bottom line.
Yep.
Okay, so number 4.
Okay, so stop doing what isn't working for you and your Zazzle business.
Yes.
And it's this one's interesting because a lot of us don't exactly know what's not working in our Zazzle business, right? We know something's not working because we're not seeing the results that we feel we should be getting from the efforts that we're putting in, because we can work really, 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 really hard and not see any results. And that's actually not what we want you to do, because working hard doesn't mean that you're going to earn a lot of money. And a lot of us are in that mindset, like the 9-to-5 job, where you're putting in a certain amount of hours and you're getting a certain amount of money out. Zazzle, fortunately and unfortunately, isn't like that. You need to figure out what's working and what's not working.
Yeah, because exactly that. If you think that you're going to get a certain amount of money for working 9 to 5, then if you work longer hours, you think you're supposed to be paid more, but you're no longer on salary on Zazzle. You are in charge of working, and it's not an hourly wage. So, but what's really fun is that if you set things up properly, then you can actually work a lot less and make a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's what we've discovered over the years. Oh my gosh, we work like 4 hours, if that, a month these days, and we're still making a lot of money on Zazzle. Why? Because we've worked smart, not hard. And because of that, we've taken the 5 strategies that we always teach and we've implemented them really strategically into our business. And that's giving us that ability to work less and work smart rather than hard. And this is really, really important for you to understand, is that hours don't equate to more money. It's more what the actions are that you're taking that's going to give you different results that are going to generate you more money on Zazzle. Okay. So, but Jen pointed out that there's things that you could do if maybe you don't know about them, but you can do 2 things. First of all, you can check out the numbers. The second thing is you can listen to your gut.
Or your intuition
and
or
your
something.
Intuition. Yeah, because gut could also mean you're hungry.
Hungry right now, yeah.
But the most important thing is, let's start with the numbers, is the hours that you worked, which is a good one, because like you want to actually check to make sure you're not working 1,000 hours and making it $1, because that would mean a very bad salary.
Yeah, or vice versa, where you think that you've been working hours, but you actually really haven't done that much work, because it can be both ways too.
Yeah. So you have to monitor your hours, but not just when you started work. How productive were you in those hours and those kinds of things as well. So we ask you to monitor how many products you make. And again, another myth is going to get crushed here, because you don't need 1,000 bazillion gazillion products in order to make money on Zazzle. You can have like a lesser amount. We actually tell our students 100 products a month as a nice, consistent way of making products over the course of a year. And then like at that point, you're already starting to get a lot of information back from the marketplace to see how you're doing, and then you can pivot. But the 100 products is a really cool mixture of things that you're going to try out, see if it works, and other things where you're going to leverage sales that have already happened. And this is the strategy that we teach in the Profit by Design Academy. It's our product production strategy for the month. And as I said, 100 products is all you need a month. using our strategy, and then you can start to see what you're going to do in terms of to stop doing what isn't working and keep doing what is working for you. So the other thing you're going to do is assess your earnings, right? Because that makes sense. If you're putting in the hours, you're making the products you need, but you're not making the money that you wanted to make, then you'll have to decide, is what you were doing enough to create that situation where you would make those sales? And if not, then obviously now you've seen the result because it's not giving you the money. And then you can go back and you can change things around, or you can add more actions that are more lucrative for you. But it's really a nice balance then, because you're seeing all those numbers all at once. And if you do this analysis once a month, then you've got a really good handle on your business. However, now there's another part to this, right? Because it's you has to do everything. You have to be showing up for your business all the time. And if you have these intuitions where you feel your gut says, I don't actually really like doing promotion, or I don't really like every time I do titles and tags, I feel really ill and frustrated and upset because I don't even know if I'm doing the right thing, or right?
I'm overwhelmed. There's uncertainty.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm frustrated, sad, angry. Like I want to shake my computer. Things
Don't
like
go
that.
on the computer for 5 days because you're just so, ticked off.
Yeah, you can use your gut intuition to try and help you figure out not necessarily what you're doing wrong, but things that are taking more time than they probably should, just because you probably don't exactly know what you're doing. And it doesn't mean that you're not a good designer, that you're not a good business owner. It just means that you need some extra help to figure out what is going on and how you can improve the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Because once you get the tools and the skill sets, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's what happened to all our students. Like Brandon on his own, every year for 5 years, he never made more than $500. As soon as he took our Profit by Design Academy, within 3 months, he had made over $1,000, right? So how, like, the change is crazy. And then over the last year, 3 years actually now, because he's been with us for quite a while, he's already like up into the $150,000. And that's fun for us, because it's like, yep, it's just that he needed some help. That's where the skill sets come in. And he had everything. He knew what to do, like in terms of delivering on the products that he had to make and so on. But he needed the help as to how to strategically do that as a business, and also to just get the guidance, because some things you just don't do properly. And they're the things that we're talking about with the gut reaction or the intuition. It's like, what am I missing? Why is this not working?
Yeah.
All of these things where you say those things to yourself, you go, okay, so it's because of that I'm not moving forward, and I'm spending too much time on those things. And I need to get someone to help me so that I spend my time doing the things that actually work rather than things that don't work.
Yep. Yes, very true.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's recap the 4 points that we covered in the how to make 2021 your best year yet on Zazzle, or best year ever on Zazzle. So the first one is set your 2021 goal and do the necessary or needed mind work for that.
Yeah, mindset work. Yeah.
Mindset work. Sorry, I messed that up
Work
actually.
of the mind.
Set your 2021 goals and do the needed mindset work. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's the biggest and the most important thing. And everyone goes, no, it's okay. I just need to know how to do this. And it's like, no, you have to work on the mindset. And we just won't, can't emphasize that enough. And we won't let that go, because it's changed everyone's abilities so much just because they figured out that they could do it. They just were holding themselves back.
Yep. So the second point is create a customer-focused production plan for all of 2021. And don't let that scare you. It's doable and very easily done once you actually understand what kind of things need to be implemented. And so that's why we chatted about the months in between before you schedule everything out.
And then you're going to feel so good about this. And it doesn't have to be set in stone, right? You can always modify it. But if you come to 2021 without a plan, then you're like, okay, what do I do now? Whereas if you have time and perspective to actually say, okay, in this month I'm going to do this, and this month I'm going to do this, and like block it into my calendar, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's cool. I've already like done half the work. So now I just have to decide if it's still the right work to do.
The third point is invest in your future growth of your Zazzle business. And the fourth is stop doing what isn't working for you and your Zazzle business.
And no comments about those two.
Well, okay, no, invest in the future growth of your Zazzle store or your Zazzle business. You definitely need to understand that growth is important and investing in yourself is important, whether that be with free information or with paid information. It's both equal or practice or implementation or repetition, understanding, watching, learning, doing. Everything that would be to grow your Zazzle business, whether it be, as I said, on all of those different levels, is very important, because if you're just sort of stuck in the same routine on the hamster wheel going over and over and over again, doing the same things, you're not going to go anywhere. And actually 2021 will not be your best year yet or best year ever, because you're just going to be doing the same thing that you were doing previously. And that's why we go to school. That's why we go to university. That's why we take courses. That's why we practice sports. We practice instruments. We do things to get better, because we always learn from our mistakes, and then we also grow from learning.
Yes, and practicing.
And
then stop doing what isn't working for your Zazzle business. That's point number 4 in the last one.
Yes. So even though you might not know what you're not doing right, we spoke about the numbers, we spoke about the hours, we spoke about sort of doing an analysis of understanding what's actually going on in your Zazzle store, and then also your intuition or your gut feeling that's like, ugh, I don't want to do this, or this scares me, or why isn't this working for me? It's so frustrating that I can't get it right. And those will all together help you understand what's not happening or what's not going right in your Zazzle store. And we can figure out on how to stop doing those things, because there's always a solution, whether that be training or practice or improving your skill sets, improving your business management skills, improving your overall understanding of what your Zazzle business is, or your mindset. Everything can be fixable as long as you understand what's going on and why it's not working for you.
Exactly. And owning up to it as well.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much for listening and watching.
Yeah.
And we will see you in our next podcast.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to The Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur with Jen and Elka Clark.
We hope this episode has given you actionable steps to start and scale your Zazzle business so that you can have the passive online income to have location and time freedom to live your dream life.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Each review helps us reach more creative entrepreneurs like you working to create a profitable e-commerce business.
And don't forget to take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram stories and tag us at Miss Jen Clark and at Elka Clark. We'd love to hear your biggest takeaways from today's episode. See you back here next week.